Great. Thank you, Melissa. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for spending time with us this evening to celebrate PCOs that are joining this year after being elected. Our rough agenda for today is going to be we're going to have a PCO swearing in ceremony, and then we're going to do a test ballot for the KCDEMS reorg that's going to happen December 15th. We're going to drop a link in the chat. If you have not registered, please do so. Then we're going to take a little bit of a break as we transition to the candidate forum, and then we're going to hear from the candidates who are running for office for King County Democrats for the next cycle. Joining us, and we're glad to have him here to conduct the swearing in of PCOs, is King County Executive Dal Constantine. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thanks for inviting me today. It is really an honor to be here joining you, and welcome to our newly elected Democratic Precinct Committee officers, whether you are being reelected or whether you are stepping up for the first time. We are thrilled that you are here to represent the Democratic Party of the people. December 1st, in fact, marked your first day in your two-year term as the representative of the Democratic Party in your precinct. This role is codified in state law. It is also codified in the charter of the Washington State Democratic Party, and the elections are administered by King County Elections and by the Secretary of State. As the county executive for King County, it is a profound honor to welcome you to your responsibilities as a precinct committee officer, representing your neighbors and electing party leadership, as was just discussed, engaging voters, and endorsing and supporting endorsed candidates. This is the role that I stepped into over how long has it been now? 40 years ago. I am continually amazed at the wonderful people who come forward to continue grassroots building of the Democratic Party throughout King County and indeed Washington State. Fellow Democrats, I believe that the folks running the technology are going to assist me here as we present the names of all of the elected precinct committee officers for King County on the screen.
It's on its way up.
Lines just to get through the A's. Thank you to all the A's. Robin Giedelman asked, how many PCOs are being sworn in today? We have about 1,200. Now that is out of 2,700 precincts. So there is still room to call a friend and have them get appointed for this next term.
That is a tremendously impressive presentation. Thank you to all the folks who stepped up and were elected to represent the Democratic Party as precinct committee officers. I would now like to read to you the charge, our version of your swearing in, and you will be asked to affirm your commitment with a simple statement of "I do." Would you please raise your right hand if you are able, and I will present the charge. You've been elected to the office of Democratic Precinct Committee Officer for the 2024-2026 term. As a PCO, it is your responsibility to execute the following duties on behalf of the residents of your precinct. Vote in the leadership elections of both King County Democrats and your legislative district Democratic organization, and to vote on candidates to recommend for appointment to a vacancy in the Washington State Legislature in your legislative district. We also ask that as volunteers who support the Democratic Party platform and principles, you attend your legislative district meetings and contact voters in your precinct during the primary and general election cycles each year. Do you pledge to fulfill these duties to the best of your ability? If so, please signify by saying, "I do." And that having been accomplished, I congratulate you on your election as a Democratic Precinct Committee Officer in King County. Let me thank each and every one of you for your dedication, for your commitment, and for your service to the voters of our county and to the defense of democracy. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Executive Constantine. Thank you so much. All right. And congratulations, PCOs. It's inspiring to see the flood of I do's in acknowledgement coming through the chat. Just take a look if you haven't already. All right, next up, we're going to hear from Marty Ross from the 1st Legislative District. Just a reminder, we have our reorganization meeting coming up December 15th. And so right now we're going to do a test ballot so that you're prepared for voting at the reorganization meeting. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Marty. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeremy. So I'm Marty Ross. I'm a PCO up in the 1st LD. I'm the state committee member for the previous term and co-chair of the state technology committee. And part of the work that we've been putting in over the last biennium was developing this tally app. So this will be the largest scale test of it. Good to get a look at everything to see that everything's working as it should. So what you'll need actually is, I'll drop a link into chat and I'll do that right now. Okay, and that should be a ballot. You can click on it in the Zoom chat and you can enter your vote. When you open it, you'll find that it'll ask for some information, your first and last name, your email, and then also the code that you would have gotten in your mailing. So this is a 6-letter word plus a 2-digit number mashed together. So the ballot will expect that, and you'll see a test ballot that is going to be a mock state committee vote. So you'll be choosing 2 candidates of differing genders, and that will we'll be checking on the back end that everything is valid and verified according to the information that you registered with. If you have any questions, I'll be tackling them as quickly as we can, but this will be a nice first look at the system. And it may take a little while to tally up, just doing a test run, and thanks everyone for participating.
Marty, it looks like we have a question from Eddie. Is the password case sensitive?
It is actually. So it should just be lowercase letters and then the 2-digit number. Yeah, and on the system, I'll be able to see if some information was incorrectly entered, and so I'll be reaching out. So keep an eye on uh, the Zoom chat. I'll try to reach out to people as issues come up. So thank you very much.
Right.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have. I was just realizing that. Yeah, I might have to devise a better way to reach out to voters because there's so much activity in the chat. I'm realizing that when I post the link, yeah, it'll go away pretty quickly. And the same would be for if I'm reaching out to individual voters, if there is an issue with the ballot that was cast. So yeah, we'll figure this out. And yeah, you would have gotten it in the mail. And that's another thing to reach out if you have lost your letter, but it's prominent on that letter. Uh, it's got your 4 bullet points: email, phone number, credential code, and then the link to the reorganization registration. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. We're already at 150 votes. And I see that there are a couple people who have revoted. So one of the things about the system is that you're able to cast multiple ballots, but only your latest one will count. And that's in line with how things are done at the state party as well.
What are we voting for?
I was thinking about having something a different kind of mock ballot. So I went with just a generic candidate A through F, um, male identifying, female identifying, and non-binary. Um, so it's a more realistic thing. I was also thinking about uh, fruits versus vegetables versus bread dishes or something for a fake restaurant, but we'll just keep it simple. This will look as much like a ballot that you'll be casting on Saturday.
Awesome. And is there a browser requirement?
Oh, not that I know of. You should be able to, although it's not as easy, people that use their phone for the meeting, you should be able to open up your chat, go through the menu there, um, and then get the link, hit the link, and that'll open up your browser, and you should be able to cast your ballot that way as well. But I know that they work with at least Edge. Chrome and Firefox.
Got it. And
Yeah.
should they receive an email confirmation?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Should they
Oh,
receive
you
an
know
email?
what? Yeah, you know what? I forgot to change to turn that button on. Sorry about that, everyone.
Sorry.
I'll make sure to do that on Saturday.
All good.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not something you can do programmatically
Yeah.
um, for whatever reason.
Marty meant Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sunday, sorry. I'm getting confused. I'm also running the Snohomish County Democrat reorg on Saturday. So, yes,
Mhm. Nice.
jam-packed weekend. Woohoo, democracy.
Yeah. All right.
All right, cool. Yeah, looks like we've got people did a really nice job, actually. This is incredibly clean. I have some test cases that I use when I'm stress testing the system, and yeah, it's the error rate is significantly lower than that test case. So this is great. Yeah, people are putting in just the right information, um, and what we'll see is on the back end, I'll be able to see whether somebody put in incorrect information. I can certainly see some junk ballots where they just put a bunch of gobbledygook
Mm.
into a ballot, and that will not be counted. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, looks really good actually.
All right. Looks like the questions are dying down. Looks like everybody's
Mhm.
having a
Yeah.
good. So thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And we are at 190 ballots that have come in so far. So yeah, looking great.
Great. All right. Well, thank you, Marty. Any other updates there? Again, the reorganization meeting is the 15th on Sunday, and we will paste that registration link. If you have not registered for the King County Dems reorganization meeting, please do. And we will, yeah, please let us know if you didn't get credentials or whatever, and we'll make sure to take care of that before Sunday as well.
Yeah.
That
And
is
one of the
also
important things is we'll certainly keep the ballot open so that people who are having problems are able to cast a vote somehow. If there are issues with, especially people trying to use the form on their phone or some kind of a browser problem, then we'll have a system in place for people to cast ballots, and then somebody on the back end will just fill a ballot out for you. So yeah, that we'll have some ways to uh, make sure that everything's counted.
awesome. And there was a question of what are we reorganizing? So just some context. The reorganization meeting is where we elect new officers for King County Democrats. So that is, we are reorganizing the organization to elect new officers.
Marty, are the forms set up to send people a copy of their ballot so that they know that their ballot was counted?
They're not. That is a thing that I have to do before I send them out, and I forgot to do it just now. So apologies for that. But yeah, I can send another ballot out a little bit later, just for people to cast another ballot and see that there's a receipt of your ballot after you sent it in as well. But
Jeremy,
yeah,
we have a
looking great.
PCO with a raised hand.
Who is it? Let's see.
Jonna Thompson.
Jonna Thompson. If you could type your question, that would be great. Keep an eye out for it.
Oh, and good question from Jeffrey Holden. He was asking, the email I used on the ballot is what I think I registered with, but not the same as the account with King County. Does the email make a difference? It does. And what I'll be able to do here actually is make sure that the ballot that you cast everything is correct except the email address. And if those mismatch, I'll actually be able to put your email as a secondary email for the Saturday or for the Sunday ballots. So we'll have a workaround and make the system a little bit more robust. Yeah, I think at most I have just one email for everyone, but this will get me a look at additional emails as well.
And Maria, you had your hand up. If you could just type your question, that would be helpful. Okay, we will make note. Thank you.
Maria, I answered you back, but it probably got lost because the chat's been very active. But your name was on there as Louisa Bangs. I went back and double checked on the slides, and you were definitely on our list. So thanks for being here tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Amy. Great. All right. We are going to prepare for the candidate forum. So we're going to take a few minutes break. And just a heads up, we're going to turn off chat for the candidate forum so everybody is focused on the candidates and reducing any sort of distraction. So thank you so much for your engagement up to this point. We're going to take a couple of minutes just to allow the candidates to get ready. So just hang tight for a couple minutes. Thank you, Marty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks. Great job, everyone voting. Actually, we ended up with about 160 ballots that were cast perfectly, and about 27 that I have to go back and fix up. But yeah, a lot of that will be additional emails that I'll make sure get flagged to the same accounts. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, just give us a couple of minutes to promote candidates to panelists so that they can speak. Andrew, if you could type your message, that'd be great. Thank you. Oh, I see. Okay. So you were saying you were here. Got it. All right. Just a couple more minutes. Thank you for your patience. Oh, in the interim, Alexander, also from the PCO coordinating committee, along with Amy and Udaloy, is going to share some numbers about the state of PCOs. Alexander, let us promote you really quickly. If you're
He
not
should be
already.
here.
Okay. Awesome. Yep, there you are. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Alexander Erickson. I use he, him pronouns. And also my full-time job. Oh, screen sharing stopped. Oh, my Chrome crashed. My full-time job is also data manager for the state party. So if you ever have any problems with Vote Builder, I am the one on the other end that is doing my best to help make sure that your problems get resolved in as quick a way as possible. I first want to shout out the amazing work that was done by Anne and Melissa and Amy and everyone on the PCO organizing team. We were able to recruit so many new PCOs this year. It was incredible. And so I'm going to show you guys a little bit about some numbers for our PCOs. So this is a breakdown of how many PCOs we have in each legislative district and how many vacancies we have. As you can see, the 46th leads the way with 157 PCOs, also the highest percentage of precinct staffed out of any LD. And then the other ones that are over 50% staffed are the 37th and the 33rd. So well done to those two. And then the rest of you, we are working to try and help get you up to those numbers. We want to build those. We want to build those LDs up. Here is a graph showing our the age of PCOs between 2025 and 2026 versus 2023 and 2024. We on average got a little bit younger and also grew, I think, in pretty much every age category, including under 20. So we want to keep working on recruiting those younger PCOs, myself included. I'm in that second little age column. So hopefully next time we can get the under 30 over 100 people. But we're definitely glad to see growth among all of these age profiles. And then here is a historic look at the voter file sex breakdown of our PCOs. We were majority male until 2020 and have been, or until 2018, and we've been majority female ever since. We have 623 women and 527 men representing as PCOs this year. And I think this is one of our highest marks ever in terms of total numbers of PCOs. And then since I've done a lot of work for the state party and know a lot of the stats from the 2020 election or 2024 election, this is not the prettiest way I could have done it, but I just wanted to give you all some encouraging stats about how well we did this past election cycle. So 2024 was the first time since 1944 that we've won every statewide office, held both Senate seats, won a majority in of U.S. House seats, and won a majority in both chambers of the state legislature, and sent our electoral votes to the Democratic Party. So this is truly historic that Democrats have this level of dominance in Washington state, and we're certainly doing our best to keep it. This is also the first time since 1964 we've had control of all state executive positions. We prevented Republicans from gaining seats in either the state House or state Senate, and they have not gained seats since the 2012 election. They've also not netted any U.S. House seats since 2008. And then in 2024, we had the smallest shift to the right of any state in the country, I think only moving about 1 point to the right. We gained a seat in both chambers of the state legislature despite the bad national environment, and we defeated 3 of the most dangerous Republican ballot initiatives that they put forward, giving our state legislature a mandate to go and pass more progressive revenue so that we can fund the essential services that the people in our state rely on. And then also, as people are talking about the DNC reorganizing and electing its chair, I just wanted to very quickly highlight where you fall into that, because our state party chair, Shasti Conrad, is going to be elected or is up for re-election. And her chairmanship will be determined by the people that you elect as your Washington State Democrat Committee people at the LD and county level. And then from there, they will elect DNC members who will go to the DNC and vote on who the next chair of the Democratic Party is. So if you care about the future of the Democratic Party, you care about what direction we're going to take your time, figure out who you want to vote for to represent you at the Washington State Party. And also, you have an opportunity this year to cheer on Shasti Conrad as she also runs for vice chair of the DNC. So a Washington State chair might be one of the vice chairs of the DNC, which would be very exciting for us. So that's kind of all that I wanted to share with you guys. Overall, we did absolutely incredibly at the state level. And so hopefully your energy will help us continue to build on this victory with more victories to come. And the people that you're about to hear from will help us get there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alexander. Hope that was informative for everyone, especially if you're not as familiar with PCOs and sort of the state of PCOs across the county. So we are going to move into our candidate forum. And to help us with that, I would like for you to help me welcome our state representative, Julia Reed, who is going to moderate tonight's candidate forum. Thank you so much for being here, Representative Reed. And we will get the cameras situated here shortly. All right, let's spotlight you. You ready? Awesome. Welcome. Oh, you're muted at the moment. Let's see if we can. Yep, that's good. One second while we get situated. Thanks everybody for your patience. Hopefully, if anyone has any surprise thoughts about the surprises from the stats, feel free to type those. We're going to turn off chat here in a second, though. So
I think chat is currently off, Jeremy. Do you want it on?
okay, cool. No, let's go ahead and keep it off then. All right. Looks like Representative Reed, you ready? Or okay, one second.
Yeah, I am ready. Just moving my windows around so
Look
that
at
I
that.
can see you. Okay, let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to moderate, and we're gonna hand it off to you. And let's get this forum going to see everybody can hear from the candidates. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to be with you, all of you here tonight. I am State Representative Julia Reed, coming to you live from the beautiful 36th District, which is in, I'm going to change my camera so that I'm not looking up so much, which is in Northwest Seattle. And we are here to moderate tonight's candidate forum. Here is how the forum will work. Each candidate will have 1 minute to introduce themselves. And then if the candidate is in a contested race, they will have 2 minutes to answer any role-specific questions, and then 1 minute to provide a closing statement. So if you're not in a contested race, we won't have you answer role-specific questions. But if you would like to comment on your role during your opening or closing statement, that would certainly be welcome. And I am hoping that, Jeremy, can you promote the candidates to panelists? And then can you let me know if they have an order?
That sounds good. Let's see, Kat, I think everybody should be promoted, is that right? And I will paste the order. Actually, let's go with the order that's in the list of questions, if that works for you, Representative Reed.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's start with the candidates for chair. So if you are a candidate for chair, could you raise your hand for me in using the raise hand feature, just so I know who you are? All right. I see Beth Baisley. Are there any other candidates for chair that wish to speak tonight? All right. Seeing none, Beth, you will have 1 minute to address the body with your opening statement. So please take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you, Representative Reed. I really appreciate you being here for all of us this evening and for moderating this amazing forum. I am thrilled to step up to lead King County Democrats, and I am delighted to see so many other people stepping up to run and represent and lead. I believe everybody's had a chance to read my candidate statement where I divulge far too much about me personally, so I'm not going to go there unless you want to grab a cup of coffee. But I will say there's a few things you'll want to know. If you want to wonder about who is that crazy person who really just loves canvassing and can't get enough of it, that person's me. If you want to talk about that crazy person who really wants to engage with every single candidate and talk and share and be with them and fill that room with other people to learn, that's me. Many of you have met me through my endorsement leadership, and many of you have met me in canvassing events. And that's what I'd like to see more of across King County Dems. More gathering, more listening, more learning, and most of all, more taking action. That's just who I am. Thank you, Representative Reed.
Thank you, Beth. That was great. Carmen, are you our timekeeper?
I am keeping time. I don't have a fancy timer on my computer because this is my work Zoom and it has to get approved through my IT in order to, I don't know how to change it to a different Zoom.
It's
I'm
really
not,
fine. We can use
so
the old fashioned count to 60 seconds and tell us when folks are done.
if you can keep your chat open, I'll just put 30 seconds in the chat, 15 seconds in chat, and then I'll raise my hand before I rudely interrupt you.
Perfect. Also, I just want to draw everyone's attention to the fact that Melissa has put candidate statements, so link to the candidate statements in the chat. So if you're someone who prefers to process by reading, you can do that there. Next, I'm going to take any candidates for the position of first vice chair. Can you raise your hand using the raise hand feature? Ah, my old buddy, Josh Bond. How's it going, Josh?
Great. How are you, Representative Reed?
Good. Any other candidates? I see one more. All right. Going once, going twice. Anyone else? Okay, we're going to go in the order that people raise their hand. You each have 1 minute to give an opening statement. So Josh, you'll go first, and then we'll have Eddie Chang. Carmen, if you're ready, take it away, Josh.
Sure, sounds good. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Marty and Dow and Jeremy and everyone who's had the opportunity to come in here and tell us what this is all about. And thanks for running the show. Thank you for being PCOs. This is the first thing that I did when I joined the party officially in 2016 after the first Trump administration victory. It's the first thing I did. I stepped up in the 45th Legislative District and then became the representative to the young King County Democrats and then to the King County Democrats. In 2018 and 2020, I was elected a vice chair of this organization, along with first vice chair at the time and then eventual chair, Shasti Conrad, and of course, our very own Melissa Taylor, and actually Julia Reed here. I had a good conversation, a phone conversation with Beth. I'm so grateful that she convinced me that I have more to offer here. And so I have, the experience. I know what this job entails for the most part, and I know what's coming. And I would just be so
Josh,
grateful for your
time
confidence.
for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eddie, do you want to go ahead and give your 1-minute opening statement?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. Apologize for being in my car. My kid's at a baseball class. So, and my wife and my other daughter, and my daughter is over at the school open house. My name's Eddie Chang. I'm a PCO in the 41st. Previously, I've served as leadership for Washington Realtors. In 2022, I was appointed to the Washington Real Estate Commission by Governor Inslee, and within my first meeting was elected to be vice chair of that committee. I am passionate about the Democrats. I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm always try to jump in feet first, and I'm never afraid of the work. So I'm excited to be involved in this organization, and I'm here to help however I can. Thank you.
Great. Okay, well, per our rules, we have a contested race, so we will have 2-minute statements from each candidate. I'm just going to go ahead and have you do your statements now. I don't know how many of these races will be contested. We want to keep people focused on each race. So let's start with Eddie. Since you spoke last, you can go first on the interview question. And Carmen, if you can please be prepared with a 2-minute timer. Eddie, the question is, where do you see opportunities to support the other legislative district organizations? That's an important part of the first vice chair's role, is helping the other LD organizations with issues that might arise, like code of conduct or rules management or other challenges. So what opportunities do you think there are for the King County Dems first vice chair to support the LD Democrat organizations?
Well, code of conduct is very important to me, as evidenced by my candidate statement. It is primarily the big role as the vice chair, as the first vice chair within the bylaws. In order to support others, I believe that having conversations and having communications between different LDs and between leadership of the different LDs and crowdsourcing ideas and ways that people have been successful, and that transfer information, that vault of knowledge that all of us seem to have and can share with each other, is the best way we can each grow and help other LDs. There were some LDs that were over 50% on PCOs. My LD 41st is a little bit light, over 50. We've been trying to get there and would love to learn from other LDs on how they got there. So I think that the most important thing we can do is learn from each other, and we can all grow together, because rising tide raises all boats.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. All right, Josh, same question. Where do you see opportunities for the King County Dems first vice chair to support the LD organizations within King County? And
Thanks for the question. Oh, go ahead.
No,
okay, thank you. First, I'll touch on the code of conduct. So I was there when it was written. I think it was really important work then. I definitely agree with the ombudsman provision, but I think we have a lot more work to do to give it teeth, to revise it, and overall making an example that LDs can use, as well as other parts of party leadership, to use their code of conduct as well. If we create something that can kind of be boilerplate for a lot of different purposes while still maintaining the, protection and the defense of our own members, I think we can really help the LDs and the state in general and everyone to come up with a code of conduct that works for them and keeps our party safe. The other role, as defined by the bylaws, is the Legislative District Organization Committee. I would like to, personally commit to going to at least one meeting in this term of every single LD. I would like to have office hours so that if you can't reach anyone by phone, you'll always know there's a forum much like this one where you can go to King County and see, where we can intersect and where we can do action together. So these are two committees I'm really excited about, and I think it does take a big tent approach to getting these things right. So I'm an open door policy. I view this as service oriented. This isn't something that I'm trying to build a career out of. I come in and then I disappear, every few years, but I'm here to do the work. Please, I view this as service. So if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. Yeah, I think that's basically my answer for those two committees.
Okay, thank you very much. We've just heard from our two candidates for King County Dems vice chair, or first vice chair. You will also, Eddie and Josh, both have an opportunity to make a 1-minute closing statement if you wish at the end of the forum. But Eddie, I know you're doing family stuff and we support working parents here. So the closing statement is optional. Okay, let's move on to the next race, which is vice chair for comms, outreach, and fundraising. If there's any candidates for vice chair for comms, outreach, and fundraising, can you raise your hand? I see Christopher. Are there any other candidates? I see Andrew. Did you raise your hand? Yes, Andrew's hand is up. Okay. All right. You will each get a chance to make a 1-minute, closing, 1-minute opening statement. So Christopher, you raised your hand first. So why don't you go ahead? You have 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Christopher Katz, and I'm running for Vice Chair for Communications. I've worked in news, I make video games for a living, I've acted on stage, and in total I have 25 years of experience in entertainment. And it's given me a lot of opportunities to speak to, interact with audiences across cultures through language barriers and in tremendous numbers. This has also given me a lot of opportunities to coordinate larger projects. I've managed between 3 and 30 people on highly technical processes and managed to get product out the door in the process. My goal here would be to be your voice. I believe we are going to have a lot of eyes on us as considering how the national stage seems to have been set. And it is my hope that I can put our best foot forward and show everybody how effective communication can be handled with throughout the party. So thank you very much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you. I think I might have messed this up slightly. Are there any other candidates for vice chair of communications? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to vice chair of outreach. So thank you, Christopher. You'll have an opportunity to make a 1-minute closing statement as well, if you wish. Andrew, if there's any candidates for vice chair of outreach, could you please raise your hand? I see Andrew. Any other candidates for vice chair of outreach? Okay, Andrew, seeing only you, you have an opportunity to make a 1-minute opening statement. Go ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the PCOs out there. Thank you, Representative Reid. It's great to see you, and thank you, Jeremy. As you all know, my name is Andrew, and I am very excited to run for this position. And I think we need to reach out better, work on messaging. I have been very active with the party. I've been a board member for the DEI committee on King County. I'm the chair of the Washington Stonewall Democrats. And this is an opportunity for us to, one, change our messaging, to reach out to communities that have been underrepresented. And I'm excited for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Andrew, you'll have an opportunity to make a 1-minute closing statement later. The final vice chair role that we'll be hearing from tonight is vice chair for fundraising. Is anyone, can I get a hand raise if you are a candidate for vice chair of fundraising? I see one hand up. Any other candidates? Last call. Okay, Melissa Taylor, you have 1 minute to address the forum.
Hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Melissa Taylor, and I don't normally sound like this. I have whatever respiratory bug is going around, and it knocked my whole family out. So this is going to be quick, which you probably won't mind. I have been a longtime PCO and actually was elected as a vice chair of this organization in early 2018. I have served under 3 different chairs, 4 actually, now that I think about it, and in a number of different roles. I'm currently the treasurer for King County Democrats, and I'm really excited to be bringing in new leadership. She can't be here tonight, but Diana Phillips is going to be a great new treasurer. She's from the 12th, and I'm excited to do fundraising. We have the opportunity in this upcoming cycle to elect 300 Democrats to the seats that are open in 2025. And I specifically want to raise $100,000 to focus on school districts and make sure that Moms for Liberty has no foothold in King County, and that we
I don't want to
would
stop you,
vet
but that's so time.
moms.
I'm so sorry, Melissa. That's time.
Thank
you
you.
started talking about Moms for Liberty, and I didn't want to cut you off, but
You're doing great, Carmen.
Thanks, Carmen.
Thank you for keeping the forum honest. Okay, so those are our candidates for vice chair for communications, outreach, and fundraising. Next, we're going to hear from our candidate for treasurer, or candidates for treasurer. So if you are planning to run for treasurer, can you raise your hand? Beth, go ahead.
I'm not planning on running myself for treasurer, but I do know that Diana Phillips was unable to join us tonight, and I have a statement from her. May I read that?
Yes, just one moment. Are there any other candidates for treasurer? Going once, going twice. Okay, Beth, you have 1 minute to read a statement from Diana Phillips, candidate for treasurer.
Thank you. Diana is running for treasurer because she wants to help King County Dems reach into more rural areas, and her experience with budget and difficult fiscal decisions makes her really well suited to both. She is both rural and has an extreme amount of experience managing very large and very intricate budgets. Diana's been involved in the Democratic Party in many ways. She's been chair of the endorsements committee for the 5th LD. She was the chair prior to when I held that position, in fact. She's been a state convention delegate and a treasurer and technology lead for the newly reformed 12th legislative district. She's also been a King County liaison for the 12th to the e-board, PCO, and endorsements committees. She, in the 12th, manages cash flow, reporting, PDC compliance, all of it. She has, I noticed down to seconds, she really believes it's important that we look at the data around where King County Dems spends its money to make sure we're spending it on our values.
Great, thank you. Seeing no other candidates. Oh, Melissa, yes.
I was raising my hand for Ricky.
Okay.
For secretary.
Oh, for secretary. You're going a little fast. We're not at secretary.
Sorry.
We're at secretary now. If there's a candidate for secretary, please raise your hand. Melissa Taylor is going to speak for Ricky, who is not present. Are there any other candidates for secretary? Okay, seeing none. Melissa, go ahead.
Yeah, Ricky Klein unfortunately had to have emergency dental work done today. So he is sorry to miss you, and he will be here on Sunday. Ricky is in the 36th actually, and he is a professional dancer who was one of the coordinated campaign's top volunteers this last cycle, showing up week after week, doing the hard work that it takes to elect Democrats. And I am really excited for you all to meet him on Sunday. And thank you for supporting him.
Great. That was the statement for about Ricky, our candidate for secretary. All right, last but not least, are there any candidates for state committee person? State committee member. All right, I see at least 2 hands up. 3. Any other candidates? Okay, we're going to go in the order that I have hands. So Drew Estep, you have 1 minute, and I'm going to hold up my hand at the 15-second mark so you know that that we are there. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Representative Reed. My name is Drew Estep. I am running for King County State Committee position in the male identifying position. I have been a longtime state party staffer and worker. I've been working in Washington state politics from 2016 in a variety of places, like the coordinated campaign, the District 45 race for Senate with Manka Dhingra in 2017, and for up to roughly 5 years as the party affairs director of the Washington State Democrats, where I've been deeply ingrained in the process of the state party, the procedures and the committees and the work that is done at the state party. As I begin my transition out of the staff of the Washington State Democrats, I really want to bring the expertise and experience I have running these processes for the state party to a representative role and represent you all at the State Central Committee in that capacity. Thank you for your time, and I think I have 2 seconds or so left, so thank you.
Yes, thank you. I did a very poor job following my own instructions. Lisa Rivera, you have 1 minute to introduce yourself.
Hey, thank you, and good evening. I'm so happy to be joining everyone tonight, and I'm excited to be running for King County Democrats State Committee member. I apologize for my voice. I've got what everyone else got right now, but I did want to miss a chance to be here and introduce myself. And why I'm running. So first, much of this you can see on the website under our candidate statements, but I am currently serving as the vice chair of the 46th District Democrats and also as organization's communications chair. My background is in journalism and in newspaper reporting, but I've also been very involved in local politics since about 2003, starting with King County Young Dems and the 43rd District Democrats. More recently, though, I was elected as a 46th District PCO. And I was also twice elected to the Seattle Public Schools Board of Directors. Outside of politics, I am on the leadership team of Girl Scouts of Western Washington Woodland Park Day Camp. I've served as PTSA president at 2 of my children's schools, the second of which I founded the PTSA there. And I'm also currently on the board of the Urban Native Education Alliance. So with all that under my belt, I hope to bring my experience with collaborating and representing large constituencies.
And I think you're at time, Lisa.
That is fine.
Thank you.
I will mute if I need to. I don't mean to be rude. I just mean to keep us on time.
Good call. Good call. We appreciate that, Carmen. Tag team. Okay, Martin Cheney, you have 1 minute to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Martin Cheney. Thank you all for being here. It's so impressive to have so many PCOs on a single session. I am a progressive grassroots activist with over 20 years of experience building effective local party organizations. During my tenures as chair of the 45th and 5th LD organizations, I presided over the conversion of those districts from red to blue. My experiences also include representative to this body, the King County Democrats, a state committee member from the 5th District, and endorsements chair of King County. As a Japanese American whose mother was subject to Executive Order 9066, I empathize with the many others who have and continue to face racial discrimination. And with 2 Hispanic granddaughters, I fear for their future in the current political climate. My passion is to do all I can to make the future a better place for them and for you.
Thank you, Martin. We are at time. Okay, we're going to have each of you answer a question for the party since we have a contested race. And I think we'll start as I did before. We'll start from who spoke last and go forward. So Martin, you're going to go first. How do you envision balancing the need to advance King County Democrats' objectives and state party objectives if you are selected to serve on the state committee? And you have 2 minutes to respond.
Okay, first of all, I don't see any conflict between the objectives of the state party and the King County Democrats and the other local party organizations. So it's hard to really talk meaningfully about balancing the needs of those groups. The role of the state committee member, as I see it, is to be a conduit between those organizations, between the state party and between the local party, and also to represent all of the PCOs and Democratic activists in King County as a whole. And so the role is to work together with people to ensure that that we are doing things cooperatively. Yes, there are minor things where the different organizations have specific objectives because King County is responsible for representing the needs of all of the Democrats in King County. The state party obviously has a larger role for the entire state, and there are activists in the state outside of King County who have different needs. But I guess I fail to see any essential conflict between those roles.
Okay, thank you. I've been reminded that Lisa, since we have a state committee member of each two state committee members of different genders, Lisa is actually therefore running unopposed. But if you'd like to answer the question, Lisa, about how do you want to balance the needs between King County and state party objectives, I certainly want to give you an opportunity to say something. So if you'd like to, please go ahead.
Thank you. I won't take too much time because I know everyone's evening is precious, but I will say that I like Martin. I believe that a lot of it is just collaborating and speaking with members. I've been going to the state committee meetings for the past 2 years. I haven't been a state committee member, but I've been there anyways as vice chair for my LD, and I've watched how it works, and I've seen state committee members in action, and I love watching the collaboration and the networking that's done to come together and to coalesce around the issues for the betterment of our state as a whole. So I look forward to doing that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, Drew Estep, you are on the hot seat since you and Martin will be both running for the state committee role, male role. So would you like to speak to the question, how do you see balancing the needs to advance King County Democrats' priorities and state party priorities if you were chosen as state committee chair? And you have 2 minutes to respond.
Absolutely, and thank you. I think the biggest place to start with this question is that the State Central Committee is inherently comprised with an unequal distribution of representatives for King County versus the rest of the state. So because the state committee is comprised of both 2 county and 2 legislative district representatives, it means that the King County has 2 from each of our legislative districts, but only 2 from the county. So the county representatives have a truly important role in representing the values of the broader district and collaborating statewide to make sure that we're not washed out by the 38 other county organizations that have representatives of equal stature. I think I'm uniquely positioned to be able to represent King County's priorities to the broader statewide coalition. I am well known and well liked by everyone statewide in the Central Committee, which is why I'm thrilled to have the endorsements of 5 of the standing committees of the State Central Committee, including the Affirmative Action Committee co-chairs, Advocacy Committee co-chairs, Resolutions Committee co-chairs, Technology Committee co-chairs, and Rules Committee co-chairs, as well as the Stonewall Democrats constituency caucus. That is an important area that we need to balance and make sure that we're represented, but we also need to represent the broader swath of the King County Democrats at the State Central Committee as well, which is why I'm also excited to have the endorsement of, in their personal capacity, chairs who have seen me interact with this role and with the Central Committee. The chair from the 1st, the 11th, 32nd, the 33rd, the 37th, the 47th, the 48th, and the 30th have all endorsed my candidacy, as well as other state committee members who have seen me in action and work these kinds of rooms and represent and build coalitions within these rooms, including representatives like Marty Ross from Legislative District 1, Legislative District 33 representatives like Dan Santon, Brittany Ferguson, and outgoing King County Dems representative Carmen Rivera. So with that, I would love to represent you all in balancing these. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect timing.
Right under the wire. Good work. Okay, well, we've had a chance now to hear from all of the candidates who will be vying for your vote in the at the reorg meeting. I hope you'll have a chance to also read their statements on the website, which Melissa has linked to in the chat. There is now an opportunity for any of the candidates to give a 1-minute closing comment if you would like. So if you would like to give a 1-minute closing remark, please raise your hand and I will invite you to speak in turn. Okay, I see we've got Beth and Josh and Drew and Eddie. All right, we're seeing some hands go up. So let's get started. I'll kind of tick them off as they go. So keep your hand up until I call you. Beth, would you like to start us off? You have 1 minute.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It is truly a wonderful thing to be in a room filled with so many Democratic Party leaders. Thank you guys very, very much for being here. I wanted to share with you that I am choosing as a retired fundraising professional to come forward in a year when we have a small goal, just $100,000 that I think is easily raised so that we can contest every race. We will definitely defeat the Moms for Liberty. What a ridiculous name. We will definitely support all of our local races in this first year and be well prepared as we head into the second year of our biennium to support our state races. We have done amazing work, and it is time to build upon that by reaching farther, reaching broader, reaching deeper with our community partners to create an even larger coalition. I see I have just seconds left. So Carmen, I'll say thank you for being a wonderful timekeeper. Representative Reed, thank you for chairing us today. And I certainly hope to gain your support for excellent communication, excellent leadership, and an amazing biennium for the King County Democrats.
Excellent. Thank you. Josh, you have 1 minute.
Great, thank you. So Eddie and I both talked about, what we want to do, what the job entails, et cetera. I did just want to talk a little bit about sort of what happened in the past, right? So when I was on this board before, we updated a lot of rules that were out of date. We started the code of conduct, which was badly needed for the very first time. We ran a program for running every race, every place, and flipped seats across the county. We've tried to fill every PCO seat that we could. And some of the results of that, we're seeing the age drop down in PCOs on average. And we're also seeing, obviously, women have taken the first place in terms of PCOs. So that's what I want to continue to do. I really want to work with Beth. She convinced me that we have a great personality match. And I think everyone on the slate, we're going to do a great job together. I'm excited to work with this group of people and to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we'll have Drew. Drew, go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Thanks so much, Representative Reeve, and thank you all for coming out. This is great turnout. I was more than I was expecting. I just want to thank you all for participating as PCOs. I have seen firsthand the sort of growth of the state party, of the local party infrastructure. I've seen the turnaround of King County in recent years and the difficulty of being re-engaged in a post-pandemic era, and that there's a lot of work to building out a political ecosystem in a post-pandemic and a post-precinct caucus world. I have a eye and a mind for rules and for processes, and I'm really excited to get to work continuing the work that I've done at the state party on behalf of the voters and PCOs of King County, and building out a collaborative coalition to advance the values we all have in expanding our tent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, one more. Just want to plug King County State Committee member, male. Just
good call. Eddie Chang, you have 1 minute to make closing remarks.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, after the election, it was a tough night. It was really tough nationally, but it was great for us on a state level, on a local level. My passion for the Democrats has always been, with the Democrats, but the one thing that I really care about is that we build a big tent, and we are true to that, and we don't don't create a purity test like the Republicans have that has basically alienated a lot of their base here in the state. We need to build a big tent and make sure everybody is heard. Let's reflect upon those values within our own tent, and create the biggest democratic organization in the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Andrew, you have 1 minute to address the body.
I really appreciate this, and I want to say the goal is to reach out every day, every second, every hour. And I come from a community where they always come and meet us during presidential election. That's not the way to go. So my plan is to have outreach every year, every time, not during presidential election. Everyone is involved in our democracy, and I hope I'm able to get your vote so that we can achieve our democracy together. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Martin, you're our final speaker of the evening. Take us home. You have 1 minute.
Thanks. I just wanted to say that, first, I do identify as male, and the requirement is that we have 2 state committee members of different sexes. So neither position is identified as a male position or a female position. But I was delighted to be asked by Beth to run for this position. I believe that effective activism is about teamwork, and it's great to be part of a team. I am just thrilled by the other people who are running here. I believe that that I am the best candidate for this job, and that this job is the best use of my work as an activist. One other thought here: since the election, I've been hearing from other progressives who feel that the state and national party organizations don't listen to them, and I would like to be an agent for change with the mission of making everyone's voice heard at the state level. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I want to thank all of our candidates for joining us today for this forum. As a reminder, you can read all of the candidate statements on the King County Democrats website if you need a refresher, and I'm sure the candidates will also be present at reorg, so you can talk to them there. I'm Representative Julia Reed. It's been a pleasure to spend this evening with you, and I'm signing off. Thanks, team.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Representative Reed. Please, everybody, I know you can't type, but please extend your thank you for Representative Reed for being here this evening and moderating the panel. Also want to thank all of you PCOs for your time, not just for tonight, but also in the upcoming reorganization meeting where you'll have a chance to vote for who you heard from tonight.
I'm so sorry, Andrew. Melissa, I'm so sorry, Jeremy. Melissa, are you raising your hand because I skipped you on statements?
Oh, no.
No, I was going to ask Jeremy if he wanted the chat back on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay, as you were, Jeremy. Sorry.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I think it works for any Q&A. And also want to thank our volunteers, either in advance in prepping for tonight and also for tonight. So Melissa, Kat, Carmen, and Amy, Alexander, and Anne around the PCO coordination. And I also want to thank finally the candidates for putting in the time in getting prepared for tonight and for showing up and speaking. Just a reminder, our reorganization meeting is December 15th, and it is virtual. And if you haven't already, please register. We'll paste the link one final time before we sign off tonight. And I guess I'll just ask, are there any questions about the reorganization meeting coming up before we sign off? We'll take just a couple minutes to answer any clarifying questions.
Jeremy, I see 2 hands raised. Do you want me to unmute them, or do you want to have them ask that in chat?
If you all could ask in chat, that would be great. Looks like Marty, did you have a question or did you have a clarification on the test ballot?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to announce, thanks everyone for casting a ballot. I put the results in the chat and I'll put them in again, but great job, 170 votes were counted. And I got a lot of nicknames as well into the system, so that should smooth things over for Saturday. Thanks everyone.
Awesome, thank you, Marty. All right, looks like there's a question. Can other candidates be nominated from the floor during the reorganization meeting? Melissa, can you remind me? I think
yes, they can.
Yep, okay.
We prefer to have self-nominations in advance, and the link is still open on the reorg page, but there will be a call for nominations in the meeting. It's really helpful to us to have all the names in advance so that Marty and the team can have the ballots fully prepared. We will likely have up to 600 PCOs on this Zoom, and they will all really appreciate having a streamlined meeting. So the more we can do to make sure that our volunteers can be prepared would be appreciated.
Awesome, thank you. And Miriam, I didn't see your question come through, but if you have one, we'll make that the last question before we adjourn.
And I did see somebody say that they got here late. This is on YouTube. So if you search for King County Democrats on YouTube, the entire live stream will be there. Feel free to share it with people in your LDs who were not able to make it. We really want to be a grassroots party, and this is how we do it. We fill every single PCO seat. We run Democrats in every single race, and we make sure that our county is strong for whatever might be coming down the pipe.
So, thanks, Melissa. And just for the last clarification, the reorganization meeting is Sunday, December 15th. All right, that is it. Thank you, everyone. Thanks again so much for your time. Enjoy your evening.
Jeremy, I'm just leaving it open for any last minute. Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're ready.
everybody. Have
Thank
a
you.
great night. Bye, all.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye,
Jeremy.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
Carmen.
you.
Thanks a ton.
Can we actually just leave it open so I can answer Elena?
Oh, sure.
We were just voting in a test ballot, Elena, and the swearing in, you can view that on YouTube. Thank you for joining the end of it.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and